You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Jersey Shore After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Jersey Shore After Show.
Wait. There we go. Yes. I like that.
There we go.
What do you mean you like that?
No, I'm just saying, I'm used to Phil doing that. I'm not always used to Ronnie doing that.
Well, it warrants it because we'll find out some good news in our news and gossip.
We got a lot of news and gossip.
Lots. Well, we have
Lots.
a big
That's it, Ronnie.
chunk of news and gossip.
Ronnie Jr., just you can keep playing that, just lower it down.
Oh, you got it? All right.
Yeah,
What was the
that's
other
just gonna
song
keep the
that
vibe
Roxy
going.
and I liked?
The one that- Oh, that was...
There we go,
Yeah.
the early one.
That one we ride out a little bit. We ride this one out.
I think that's the commercial break song. That's after we come out of commercial. Let's go back to the other one,
How
Ronnie.
did you do that?
I don't know.
There we go. Okay, good.
People get mad at us when we take too long to
All
start.
right, here we go. No, Bing is for doing, and what we're doing is an after show for the Jersey Shore.
We're doing the after show for the after show.
We're doing the after show for the reunion show.
Yeah.
And once again, I had more fun with you guys watching the show and drinking than I did actually watching the show. But I don't blame them. A kind of an underwhelming season, and
they did what they could with that.
they did what they could. We did have some good moments, though. I thought there was some real moments with Snooki and Sitch.
We can hear you
You
in the
guys
booth.
say whatever you want in the booth.
So
Whatever you want. Okay, so Ronnie, what was that? So you got to share with everybody. It's like elementary school.
Secrets don't make friends.
I think our camera's a little
Oh,
off.
no, we were talking about that great camera shot. That's all.
Now, here's what we will talk about, though, because this is where Ronnie was supposed to cut in.
What Bing is for doing, and we're doing an after show.
And what you got to do, fans,
The
is
short
rate and
version.
comment us on iTunes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh,
Yes.
it's the best.
Yes.
It happened to me all week with all my shows. It makes my
You got a lot of
day.
comments.
And we have to give some props out because the fans have been doing what we've asked them to.
Yeah,
so
so
They
we
have been.
appreciate it. So,
we're
but
excited.
but again, we've done at now. I kid you not, we've probably done about 50 of these after shows for Jersey Shore, and so in return for the time we've put in, the man hours, the manpower, you can take the 15 seconds it takes and rate and comment. I've literally seen a comment that says all it takes is 15 seconds.
And
Of course
as
I'll
my
do it.
Phil and matzo ball, Phil the thrill here.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
So it
much.
goes- Wait,
No,
do I have to
quick-
go shorter?
No. Get up. Let's go. That's it. Okay, no, just going around the table. Let me introduce everybody. Keven, Kwoww, Undergaro, Jessica, Kingpin, King, Phil the Thrill sitting in for, what's her name again?
Sassy
Sassy
Gabby.
Gabby.
I knew it. We love you, Sassy. And so she's not going to be dancing for us tonight. Very sad. And of course,
And everybody's upset about that, but she will be back here for
the
Paulie
Paulie
D,
D
and we'll
project.
do a
Yeah,
dance.
but I will make Jessica dance, and I will make you dance.
Jessica is not
and Roxy,
dancing.
rookie, Striar.
Yeah.
From day one. Day one of AFTERBUZZ, day one of Jersey Shore. Like,
She's the OG, the original.
the original. Anyway, yes, please. We ask for very little here at AFTERBUZZ. All we ask is please tell a friend about us, or go on iTunes, or wait, and am I asking too much, Phil, when I say and?
And you too.
No.
No.
Tell a friend and go to iTunes and comment on us and
Yeah.
leave a nice 5-star rating.
It's the only time we don't mind a 5-star.
You know, you don't have commercials. You don't have like a 30-second, or if you listen to AM radio, if you're still listening to AM radio, you can notice a 2, 5, 7-minute commercial break. We don't have that.
Even
here.
with FM.
Even
Oh,
with that.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
My God, it's
sure.
probably worse, right? Anyway, let's start with Snooki situation.
I know I'm getting off.
Wait.
Time.
Here
I
we
want to
go.
say this, but well, first off, the taping of this, we had commented about, if Snooki's pregnant, it's obviously going to be more live versus this was taped.
Never got mentioned.
Thank you very much. Totally taped months ago.
I thought
clearly.
the entire thing was 100% scripted.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
We were
Okay, one thing at a time. No, because We need.
That's
to...
another bomb right there.
No, it's a bomb.
I agree
it's
with
a bomb.
Roxy.
Whoa.
Sure.
Wait. Okay.
Either that or it was edited to look like it was scripted.
They're always edited this way. We know because our
Insiders.
our fearless leader Maria Menounos. We know that she hosts a lot of these reunion shows for MTV, and we know that they tape for about 8 hours, and they compress these 8 hours to 44 minutes. Oh, someone's calling. Can we get that, Ronnie? Someone answer the phone. Did we hear that? Did we get the Ronnie?
Yes.
Did we answer it? Who was it?
What are you talking about?
We got phones going. Oh my God.
Not my phone.
KWoww clearly was drinking some Ron juice before the show.
No, wait a second. I think my superior hearing.
I heard it too. But
Thank you.
You know what? I was gonna let it go, hoping nobody else heard it. But
No,
you
except
call
you.
everything out.
No one else heard it except all of our listeners. So let's just let it go and let's skip
And they
over
were
it
wondering
and
who was
think-
calling.
Exactly. And I
Okay,
want
so
to ask.
back to the show.
Back to the show. Back to the show. We know they tape in 8 hours, so they've got to compress it to 40 some odd minutes, and that's why you see all those uncomfortable edits that look unnatural. So I'll give them that. I think it's very interesting you guys saying this is scripted. The moment where they went outside, where situation went outside, there's a cameraman obviously ready to follow them, follow
In their
Jenny.
face.
And
Okay.
they were cheated out as if it was a play.
You guys give the point. I will give you the counterpoint. You give me the point. You and Jessica. Why did that camera go out? Tell me how that played out.
How the camera followed them.
Yeah.
I think it's valid that the camera could have followed them out. All that time could have been cut because, like you're saying, they shoot in 8 hours. But what
Was it a natural moment?
what wasn't realistic was that when we started seeing what they were talking about, it seemed to be the beginning of their conversation. So as if they were to walk out there and the cameraman said, "Don't say anything until you get out there. Until you're staged, cheat out to us, face this way, talk about what you want him to do." Literally, I thought it was completely scripted. And if it wasn't, at least we know the situation knows what he's doing. He's thinking about what to say, how to act. They all have prepared for this moment. They want to look good. They want to make themselves look good. He realized he looked so crappy on TV. He was like, "I'm getting out of here."
But
Mind you, the camera was so steady. It wasn't the kind of thing like when Jenny walks out, like the cameraman is like running to follow
Flying
her
after her, no.
or something. It was steady. It was already out there. It was waiting for her to come, and it just totally played out exactly how they expected it to play out.
You're making a very, very difficult argument for me to rebuff.
And I also feel like whenever Amy would ask the questions, because she would direct them like, "Roxy," and it's like they knew the question was coming to them. They were ready to speak up. It wasn't like, well, because, you know, sometimes when you're getting asked a question on the spur of the moment, you have to think about it. You have a couple like or stutters or whatever. And they were each, she'd be like, so it would be like a completely general house question. And she'd be like, "Mike." And he'd be like, "Well, I think," well, you know, it was.
All right,
That could be editing.
Can I get the counterpoint? Counterpoint. Having been there, generally they don't do that. They don't. They give them these questions, and they know how to respond. Meaning,
Who's they? The cast?
the cast knows how to respond. Not that they know the answers, but they know the best way to respond. So I think that's all you're seeing. I know that there's not enough downtime for these guys to prep. What usually happens is they come in the morning, they have their bagels. Sometimes, like with the Real World, those shows, they're drunk or they're getting drunk. They go in and they bang this out. So I don't think that part was prepared.
But we've seen them, you know, in the beginning of the season when they were doing those live bar, like presenting from the bar, and they were so awful.
Different. They were awful, but different because that was more of like a promo where they needed to act. They weren't just being themselves. This is different. I don't think that part. I actually don't think it was scripted. I think we're overthinking it. I don't think they have enough time. I think these guys, whether you believe it or not,
I think
they're
the
too
network.
big. They're two biggest stars. There's no pre-time to script it. I think they all like wing in. They come in off tour, away from their photo shoots, or the ones who have nothing going on come maybe a little early. But I think they're just going off the cuff. I think the way Amy the host reacted to say, "Go after him, Jenny," it felt to me like a producer was screaming in her earpiece, saying, "Tell her to go," because I don't know, that just
She
being
would make
around
that
it.
decision on the spot.
She might. She wouldn't. I don't think she would. No, I don't think she would. It's not like she's Letterman, you know, where it's her show and she's that comfortable. She's there. She's reading the teleprompter. She's going over her lines. So I think the moment probably was real. And I think
But then he comes back, and what happens to the moment, Kev? They drop it.
I'm sure it was cut out. Whatever.
They don't even tell us that he was.
I'm sure it
coming
was cut
back,
out.
that
I'm
he
sure it was
agreed
cut
to
out.
come back.
I'm sure it was cut out.
Why would that be cut
let's
out? The
back
most
up.
dramatic moment of the episode.
Because there's probably so many other things they felt they needed to go over.
Oh
But
yeah,
let's
because this was so drama.
Right, no, okay, that's a whole different argument. Let's back up and talk about just the situation in general. I think one of the things that I liked
The situation?
the situation.
Or this
Or
situation?
Mike, the situation.
Mike, the
Sorrentino,
situation.
not the situation. But let's talk about him. And I was happy that Snooki said what I've been saying all along. Like, I know you've been saying your thoughts. We're going to get into it in the news and gossip. Everything you've been saying about him apparently is true. What I've been saying is he goes out there every week to create a character and to create good TV. And by season, say, 3, and certainly by now, he's out of cards. He doesn't know what to do. I'm the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm the funny guy. I'm interesting. It's watching him. This is going to go over this is going to go definitely over everyone's head, this analogy. This is like watching Elvis 1977. This is like watching Whitney Houston.
Can we just nod? Everyone just nod.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, totally.
This is Elvis the year
Back
before
in
he
the
died.
70s.
This is watching the situation now. He's a parody of himself. This is like watching Whitney the last year. This is like he's not himself. He's like he's past his prime. He doesn't know what to do. He's medicated. He's tired. And at the end of the day, where Snooki continues to evolve, can we keep doing that? What is that, Phil?
That's Jarek. That Jarek is putting up photos of everyone, so we can't really
nice.
yell at her.
Okay.
She's doing her job.
You're so distracted today.
As long as
Jared-
I'm in the pictures.
Wait, Jericola. So
Kidding. It was a joke.
are you in the pictures?
We
better be.
here at AfterBuzz TV, we're
Can I
making
get a
we're
picture?
no. Can I tell the fans what's really going? So we here at AfterBuzz TV, we continue to spend more money for you guys, and so we're putting up nice photos and making the place look nice. So when celebrities come, they're like, "Oh wow, this place is good." They see all the hosts, things like that. Studio B's getting revamped.
So when they say, "Where's Maria?" we can say, "Oh, well, have you seen our pictures?"
That's right. And in
Because I
return
think
for
Maria lives here.
in return for all this work, again, please
free.
just rate and comment us on iTunes.
And tell a friend.
And tell a friend.
Phil, for Adam Carolla, weren't we telling some friends?
We did.
Last night we were telling the host of our show, like, you guys would love Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Doing our job, telling a friend.
That's right.
Anyway, so let's get back to this. So with
Bing is for doing.
watching, Bing is for doing, and we're doing
And
an
we're
after show.
doing.
Here we
You
are.
guys are nuts.
So so Sidge is a parody of himself, and where Snooki is actually evolving, whether you like it or not. She's still being funny. She's still creating moments, and she's growing in her relationships. Clearly growing in life, where she's bringing in another
Her
child.
belly's growing.
Let's see if it even plays out. I mean, that's a whole other discussion. But my point is, where she's doing that, he has hit this peak and doesn't know where to go. And Snooki does say to him, she's like, "Mike, you're trying so hard, you don't even know what you are. You're trying to be the bad guy. Just be yourself." And I was like, "Amen," because I've been saying that for the last 3 seasons.
He keeps trying to put a label on himself.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's not the same kid that came out, that was raw, that was fresh. That no one. By the way, even in Hollywood, we see this all the time. Sam Kinison, great comic, came out raw, whatever. By the end, it was like, they all turn into something else. It's very hard to continue to grow, and keep it up. And I think he doesn't know where to go.
I thought probably one of the funniest moments of the episode was the two of them fighting and her saying, "You started it," and him saying, "No, you started it." Is this like a sibling relationship? They're fighting about the remote? Like, what's going on here? The two of them back and forth. Instead of talking about what actually happened, they're just talking about
But by the way,
it.
I have to give Snooki credit. She ended up winning the war, because you know what? We all feel she hooked up with him, and she has basically, it seems like she's convinced Giovanni and everyone else that it never happened. She finally said it never happened.
I wish that they would have focused more on, when they were asking Ronnie and Paulie what they thought, because they were all saying to Snooki, the fact that you get so angry about it makes us think you are guilty. Right. And I wish, I think every cast member has said that throughout the season, but I don't know if they've said that to Snooki's face, and I wish they would have focused on that a little bit more instead of,
let her off the hook.
fighting about who started it.
Here's what I think. I think Snooki hooked up with the situation.
Yes.
I think every person in the house knows.
Yes.
And now every person's trying to stand up for Snooki, but trying to help because they hate
Mike.
Because why
And
cause
Mike-
this drama? They know she loves Gianni. They know she's not hooking up with Mike anymore.
And
so they're like, why?
adding to your point, and Mike is so beat up, doesn't know if he's coming or going. Am I the villain? Am I loved? I'm not loved. I'm hated. Am I hated in a good way where it makes me more popular, or am I just hated, period? And where his brand is plateaued, I'm sure he's thinking like, I'm hated not in a good way. He's given up the fight.
Yeah.
Like that's where he should have been. Like,
And he
wait,
was
what are you
like-
saying? We haven't hooked up. Of course we hooked up. This is crazy about. Nope. He totally just kind of wilted. And to me, the last note that I took was, we never hooked up, Mike.
And for
You're
as
making
much
that
as
up.
during the season that he was so adamant about revealing this and, you know, calling unit and whatever, I would have thought that he would have stood up for himself a little bit more tonight. And he was just
Out of
kind of like
gas, out of
falling over
gas.
his
Yeah.
words.
Out of
Because
gas.
the thing is, we all know, everybody in the audience knows, they hooked up. Who cares anymore? We obviously know that they're not going to hook up again. They're not consistently hooking up. Who cares? They hooked up
Yeah.
once. We
And
all know it.
I think Ron.
Well,
I mean,
it's more than
I,
a cheat. Wait, she cheated on Gianni.
She cheated on Gianni. She
But it was
did.
in the very beginning of their relationship. I think it would be, I mean, not that I'm condoning the cheating, but I think it would be a different story if it was like today or
Yeah.
during this past season or something like
Agreed.
that, you know?
Well, I think for me, the biggest thing I took out of it was Ronnie saying, you know, who cares? And I think them placating, whether it be the situation or Snooki, is just a matter of like, you know, at first they kind of cared, but now at this point they just want it to be over. And it's kind of like all things. Like you'll say to whatever party you're with just to appease them because you really don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in this situation, like the only way out of it was Ronnie screaming, "Who cares?"
Well,
And the
Ronnie-
crowd
Well,
was
by
like,
the way, my response is, we all care because we've had no drama. Like, you've cheated us out of 2 seasons.
that's the truth.
Right, it's the truth. You know what?
Speaking of the
Ronnie,
truth,
what do I always say?
Truth is best.
No, this is a song. This is a song about players
Oh,
and
yeah,
player
players,
haters,
and both of
for
which-
which I am both.
That's right. Both. We've talked
And
about
that's the
that.
truth.
That's right. By the way,
I was just going to say
wait,
that.
no, Jessica Kingpin, how about her? Likes Whitey.
Hey.
No,
What can I say?
No,
I like what I
engaged to
like.
Whitey, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. Now, is that the first white guy, or like has it always been consistent? Like you've always
A
gone
long
for the
line.
white? Really, of the white guys? Yeah, exactly. Because I'm saying, you know, a little boring, a little nerdy. Like, you know what? Not a lot of
To
fun.
each his own.
Not a lot of fun.
You're white.
And again, not a lot of fun. You know, I envy. I want to be on the Jersey Shore because those guys are
We
darker.
think you're fun.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, wow, is
No,
the
you
funnest.
don't. Anyway,
That's not a word, but
should we
Most
just?
fun.
I mean, here. So we're gonna talk much more about situation and news and gossip.
Yeah, but
because
Jessica
it's
won't
and
let us
Snooki,
know.
right?
yes, I've forbidden it until
Right. So we
news
will.
and gossip.
So we move on to Dena. Looks better. Everyone liked her hair and makeup, right?
Yeah, she
We all
looked
commented.
a million times better. Even
know-
when they were showing back the clips of the show. Oh my gosh.
And I'm a big fan because she's still fresh. This is still new to her. So I'm a big fan.
But like her segment, just the camping thing. Like,
But
these-
again, Phil, not her fault. It just was. They shot this so fast. They banged it out. They wouldn't break down their fourth wall to admit that these guys are huge stars, and they did their best. There was such little drama, and
well, if nothing else, here's what you could have picked though. You could have picked what was the guy's name?
you
Gianni?
Guy.
no, her boyfriend.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
could pick-
Joey.
or
Joey.
you could
Joey.
have picked the fact that the situation said her sister was a
Yeah,
squirter.
the
So
sister
you had
stuff.
you know that was, I know it's not the most compelling thing, but it's a little more in terms of levels of compellingness.
I bet you anything that they probably would have felt like it was just a beating up on Mike thing, and being a reunion, they felt like they needed to recap every moment. And as we do here at AfterBuzz, sometimes when we have to recap stuff, if we don't feel it's compelling, we like just kind of gloss over it. I think they should have done that there.
What
Is
I
that-
like about Dena, though, is when she's watching herself on TV, she's hysterically laughing.
I love
Whether she
Dena.
looks
I
like
love
an
her.
idiot or whatever, we have a shot back to her, and she's sitting there like,
Cracking up.
oh, God.
Yeah, no,
And that's great.
big fan. Big fan.
And I'm loving the makeover.
Loving the makeover. I don't know if we'll see it into next season because remember, this is a professional hair and makeup
Yeah,
person.
when she's on her own, it's a disaster.
Maybe.
But
I want to talk about disasters.
Wait.
Sammy's hair.
Wait. Okay, so well,
I'm skipping around. I can't help
here
it.
we go. We'll talk about Sammi later. Vinny and Paulie are BFFs. You know, we clearly see it.
They never talk crap about each other.
No, well, they're
never
real.
a bad thing.
They're real friends. What I saw it tonight, seeing Paulie and all the bling, and clearly he's going into his own show. He looked like a star tonight. To me, he looked like he's
another level.
Yeah, he's on another level, but still rather gracious, which I appreciate.
I think he's great, and what I wrote down is pretty much the opposite about Vinny. I love Vinny.
I love
think
Vinny
he's
too.
great too.
Wait, we're
But
leading
what
to
I
a
wrote
butt. The
down-
trap door was about to open. What?
What I wrote down was Vinny cannot make good television. Somebody,
Wait a
Amy
second. They
Paltrow-
created the greatest joke in the history. 50 years of television, no one ever did a prank like that.
Right, but
No, what?
So Amy asks him a question, and Paulie responds with this big epic answer, and Vinny goes, "Just another day at the shore." I know he was joking, but he doesn't know how to make a
By the way,
situation out of.
cool.
Paulie
Okay.
has the best one-liners.
Right.
Like he knows what to say,
And how
how
to
to
coin
make
phrases.
light of the situation.
And we're forgetting, again, because Sitch is taking such a beating. Sitch carried this thing on his back that first two seasons.
Yeah.
You know, with the GTL, he created all that stuff. Vinny was an extra.
That was Paulie.
No,
No, it was situation
Sitch.
and Paulie together.
Other than GTL, T-shirt time.
Other than the whole show's based on GTL. That's why he.
I gotta agree with you, Kev. Like Jersey.
What's up, baby?
Wait, you know, hey, players and player haters. No, listen. The first I know you guys can't see me back here, but listen. The first season, yes, Mike dominated, but he put in such a character aspect that it did bite him in the ass.
Gave it
you
its
know?
all.
And this is like my 10th year in entertainment and broadcasting, and I realized that when people don't give them their true self, it works at the beginning, as it did for Mike. But
Right.
it ain't working no more. And he did dominate. He did the GTL.
He did.
He had all the my abs are like
And
Rambo.
now
But,
nothing left.
excuse me, as far as girls go, Snooki dominated, and she was always
No.
herself.
No, here's the thing.
No, she didn't
Let's
dominate
back
at
up.
first.
At first, she struggled, and then she did. No, but nobody's denying it. Snooki has clearly caught the wave. She's now the MVP. Her and Paulie,
Paulie.
career-wise, but star-wise of Jersey Shore, it's Snooki. And Mike, he's fallen off. He's blown his load. He just,
Totally agree.
you know,
And I
he-
would like
he's
to see that-
But he was. If you go back, he was GTL, and Vinny was a bore fest. Let's face it. He was a mommy's boy.
Well,
he
here's-
was going.
I don't
he
even
was-
remember Vinny in the
He was
first
going to
season.
law school. He was white skinned. He didn't like
still
Mike.
is.
He didn't like any the way
was
they lived.
white-skinned.
He didn't like living the way they lived their lifestyle. And you know what we've known from Vinny, he's smarter. He's it seemed like he has more ethics, and he's a decent actor. So like we're all like liking Vinny, but the reality is, as a reality TV star, Vinny's got nothing on vintage Sedge.
He's lucky that he has Paulie.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we talk about everything that gets glossed over, like the real issues going on. Like, I bet Sitch is so butthurt about that. About, I mean, pretty much Paulie talked shit about him this whole entire season. So why doesn't someone bring up, how do you feel that you lost your sidekick?
You guys,
he found
you were
someone else?
quote as Paulie said, season 2. Mike is a brother from another mother.
Yeah.
Why hasn't anyone said?
Address that.
It's clearly over.
Who writes these questions during the reunion shows?
I don't know. I don't know who produces this one. I know. I
The
do know.
producers write the questions?
I know Scooter's buddy of mine does the Real World and the challenges, and man, he's all over it. He totally geeks out on it. I don't know who produces these though. I don't know. And by the way, we don't
Well, it's
know.
directed and produced by the same people.
But we don't know if these weren't asked. It's just
cut out.
whatever they want in that 40 minutes.
no.
You know.
Well, what they want in those 40 minutes isn't what I want.
And maybe, do you think that they would have some kind of, don't talk about this? Like each person has some kind of contract or something, like don't address this, don't address that or something?
I think,
No,
know,
well,
if
'cause
anyone,
this is the master contract, if anything.
I think if it.
Yeah, but now
I
they
think
all
if
have their
anyone-
own agents
Exactly.
and publicists.
If anyone
and-
would have the power on MTV, it'd be them. But I think that's one step that they can't even take. I really don't think so. I think it's like.
and here's I think the reason
and
why
other,
we got
and
what
other
we
than
got.
Snooki and Paulie, every one of these people needs this show. Every one of them, except for Snooki and Paulie. Everyone needs this show.
Here's what I think the theory is: like, cram this with fun stuff for 45 minutes, so that way, when the last thing we're left with is this was a fun season. Didn't you enjoy the ride?
And that's
you
what
know.
they've been saying from the beginning. It's going to be fun.
And that's where obviously the logic failed because we didn't quite have as much fun as we wanted to.
Their whole promotion for this season was, it's going to be fun, it's going to be lighter,
So you think that was almost a disclaimer? You think?
Yeah,
from them?
exactly.
Where they knew
They had nothing else to promote or to make us look forward to.
I mean, I think they, minus their salaries, getting a raise, I think that they, were able to shoot out so many weeks between Italy and Jersey Shore and really stretch it out into all this time and all this television and all these ratings. But I know for next season, and we'll talk about predictions. They've got to shake it up. They've got to shake it up. Well, JWoww, you guys, we see JWoww and her one little fight with Roger,
and that gets her onto the reunion show.
And it's, to me, we talked about in earlier episodes. Roger's been with her a long time, so even her with the thigh-high boots, and she's ready to go. But
here's what I would ask.
He wants to hang out with the guys and have a few drinks because he's
he's
been with her for so long at this point.
First off, I would like to see kind of the angles that stuff that wasn't necessarily shown on the show. And one of the things that was hinted at in the show was the fact that JWoww and Snooki weren't as best friends. Like, they're still friends, obviously, but their terms of interest are growing apart.
They are growing apart. Again, that would have been a great area to get into. Maybe they don't want to get into it, Phil, because they still want to sell the Laverne and Shirley reality show.
But then sit them next to each other and be like, well, what do you guys do for fun? Like, basically interrogate them on that fact.
Yeah, why wouldn't you sit them next to each other? To kind of pre-promote that show, which seems like that show might not even happen. It just keeps changing between them not being able to get a location, now her pregnancy.
Well, they started filming, and then all of a sudden she was pregnant. So
they tried to start filming first, and then there was too many people there that they couldn't even make it to the house.
Yeah.
Remember you?
Yeah, but then the next week they started filming again, and then remember last week I said they went to Cancun or something like that, and were filming at spring break. But I'm just confused as to how this is all going on when Snooki's at least 4 months pregnant by now.
You got to break down the wall.
It's just
You got to break down the wall, but again, how's she gonna live with somebody when she's carrying a child? It's different now. That's a whole other thing. Anyway, we're over JWoww. We go to Ronnie and Sammi, and we actually see like a nice moment. They kiss, which I don't think I saw during the show. Yeah, some footage of them kissing.
If Ronnie and Sammi didn't have that sit down at the end of the episode, Sammi wouldn't have spoken an entire word this episode.
What did she say? No.
She didn't say.
She said no.
She said no.
Here I am being repetitive again. If Sammi, to me, the lottery ball came up with Sammi. Sammi is just a pretty girl that just was supposed to be a hometown chick. By 22, 23, kind of meet her life partner, marry at, say, 25, 26, kids maybe a year or two later, all those events, planning the wedding, then having the child, and that's what she was supposed to do in life. And the lottery ball came up, and she got the show, and she got the fame. But we're even seeing the fact that, like, wow, she can decorate a cake, she can cook, and because that's what she's probably.
That was her segment.
That's what she was supposed to do. Like, and that's why we see her bored at the bars. Her most fun day here was the day they went and to the batting cages. If you remember, like this
that and work.
And
I like work.
I'm quite frankly, she liked the job, and it's like I feel like I'm surprised they even cast her, to be honest. And furthermore, I feel like this is the best we've seen.
Once Sammi
I don't know what we're gonna do another season with her.
When she stopped complaining so much, I started liking her. And not only that,
I like her, but you like her for the show. I do like her too.
Yeah, I don't mind her. I think her and Ronnie have little fun, cute commentary. They're kind of in the background, but I don't need 8 stellar all the time dramatic people. I think they're funny, and she does that same little thing that I do with my nose.
Well, here's the way I see it, because you say you're surprised they cast her. I'm sure in her audition she put up this whole imaginary Sammi, like, I love to party. Yeah, like I'm so confrontational, blah blah blah. First season she wasn't that cool, but she got into a relationship with Ronnie.
She fought, and let's say she fought JWoww, and she held her own.
That was further in though,
and she won, and we all said she won on points.
Once she started hooking up with
Ronnie,
Ronnie,
that makes her legit. That makes her legit.
She's not legit anymore.
No, not anymore. But okay, but no, I get. We need a couple. We need a couple of straight people.
Yeah.
We need a couple of straight characters. That's what in comedy you need that.
And Ronnie sits there and has great commentary.
He's getting funnier and funnier. He's growing on me too.
Ronnie was for sure trying to make his mark today. I feel like he was definitely trying to get some airtime, trying to throw in the jokes and the one-liners and make himself heard.
More, yeah, no, he did. He grew on me as well. But we've got to listen. Let's go to a commercial. We're going to come back. We have tons of news and gossip. We're going to talk about the pregnancy. We're going to talk about Mike and Rhea. We're going to talk about the future of this show. Because we are green-lighted, so we do have a future, but we also need to talk about the Paulie D project, which I think is really going to
Holy crap.
And we have some
Yeah.
special guests for that one, so we'll
Yeah.
tease that as well.
Anyway, we'll go to commercial. We'll be right back.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Never.
I don't fake tan. Just I need to go in.
So what do you do?
More.
So you actually, so as you said, how often do black people say, "I need a tan"? Well, I don't think very often.
Okay, I'm really yellow right now, and I usually get like this golden chestnut color.
So we
got
gotta
to
get you in the sun.
So I need to get more chestnut.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. By the way, celebrating a birthday next week with your twin.
My twin brother.
Handsome, very handsome twin.
14 minutes older than me. Our birthday is next Saturday.
Happy
it's
birthday.
on a Saturday.
Happy birthday. And where will you be going? Because I know
I'm
you guys
still
like
trying
St.
to figure
Patty's
it
Day.
out.
I was really proud of you. St. Patty's Day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys were at a bar drinking.
You underestimate me, Kevin.
I guess I do.
You really do.
I guess I do. All right, let's go to the news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay. Honestly, I've dedicated all of the news and gossip today to the situation. Roxy, you heard it first from Roxy Striar's mouth.
Yep.
We knew all along.
All
She
along
predicted
she said
it. You were right, 100%. And it kind of trickled out throughout the week. So let's start from the very beginning, day one, Monday. MTV announces that they are greenlit for season 6. They said production is set to begin summer 2012 in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. America's favorite housemates will all return to their home away from home, and the house dynamic is headed into uncharted territory as their lives outside the shore take off in exciting new directions. While things will definitely be a little different this time when they hit the boardwalk, their trademark hilarity and family dysfunction will remain the same. So they're expecting everyone to come back. We've talked about them breaking down this
No
fourth
way
wall.
Snooki's living there.
Yeah.
At that point, what, 4
It's a
months
liability.
pregnant?
4. That's
gonna
like,
be like
6 or
6,
7
7
months pregnant.
So she's gonna pop in for like a weekend. I miss it. I'm
That's
a
if they're
mom
in
now.
June. If
Blah
they're
blah
in
blah.
August.
And
Is,
by
like,
the
her
way,
water gonna break
okay,
on camera?
how many episodes will they get out of her visit? 2, 3.
They'll make
Will they
like
cheat us out of-
3 or 4 episodes out of a
She'll get one
day
solid
visit.
one and then half of the other ones, so it's gonna be
Alright.
3 total.
Well, obviously, we're happy to have them back, and we'll talk in predictions of what they need to do to make this work.
Day 2, Tuesday. TMZ reports that the situation is in rehab for substance abuse. Sources tell TMZ the Jersey Shore star Mike Sorrentino has checked into an inpatient treatment program. However, his reps state that rehab is the incorrect term for the situation and says he has, quote, spent the past several weeks at an undisclosed location for much needed rest and recuperation after his extensive production and appearance schedule. Ironically, the situation tweets the same day, quote, getting in shape for season 6.
Wait, guys, who am I on the after show tonight?
Okay.
All night long.
And so for you iTunes listeners,
Oh, yeah, nobody
we're not
knows.
watching on YouTube. Roxy's
Rubbing her
nose.
We beg people to go to iTunes, and then I do something that they can't say.
So you said all along, this guy's on drugs. He's on drugs. He's on drugs. He's on drugs.
I've had.
I happen to agree, but just thinking insurance
We've called it-
liability issues, I didn't really want to get
We
involved.
called it at the end of, I believe, this season finale, if not the reunion show of season 2.
Well, even most recently, when we talked about him at the camping extravaganza, he went crazy. And then right before that, when he was confronted by Snooki,
Right.
he was just like stuttering all over the
We've
place. He
seen
was
it-
sweating. He was just all over the
We've
place.
seen it the last 3 years, especially the last 2. It feels like he partied all the way into Italy, partied through Italy, partied out of Italy, and it's not helping. He's slurring his words. He
Doesn't know what's truth from a lie. And
No.
I've had so many friends take this path. It's
now,
like so.
he does, but now, once again, in following with his inability to know, am I the villain? He doesn't know where the old
What role to
situation was.
play.
Right, the old situation was just raw. He was like, I'm the situation. I do gym tin laundry. It was that. Now it's like, what do I do? I got to create something else. I have to be someone else.
Yeah.
So even with this rehab thing, I think part of it is true that he needs rehab because we see it on the show that he's disintegrating, and I think part of it is, oh wow, this, Snooki every week, as we said, every single week the last 8 weeks, Snooki has dropped a different news item to keep herself in the press. So he knows it's good press, but the reason he backs off, or his reps back off and say exhaustion, is because if they say it's rehab,
He's got to stop partying.
it destroys his brand. His brand is partying. He's paid to party. He's paid to visit these clubs. That's everything's connected.
100%.
So
You're so right.
It's like it's exhaustion. Now we know, or we feel like it's probably true that he's got a problem, but I don't feel like he believes he has a problem. I think it's like, okay, maybe people have told him, like, maybe you should do this, and he's thinking, okay, this will get me a hit in the press, but then again, doesn't know what to do. Do I go left? Do I go right? So it's like, well, I'm there for exhaustion. So
Well,
I
it's
went to rehab for exhaustion.
yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, that's
yeah.
I mean, he's
Did-
joined the club because every celebrity right now is claiming exhaustion.
Did you?
So-
Was it us?
Gabby had sent us the Wendy Williams, her stand-up about it. Did you guys check that out?
I didn't see
No, I
that.
don't think
It
it was
like
on that
exhaustion
email.
from what? From drinking, from tanning, from like really,
Yeah.
from going out to nightclubs,
Yeah,
from
if
doing
you do
nothing.
that 22 hours a day, it tires
Yeah.
you out.
Anyways.
But I mean, just take a nap. I don't know. Anyway, the story unfolds. Day 3, Wednesday. The situation is in rehab for addiction to prescription pills. However, Mike is still in denial. He posts Adele's song Rumor Has It to his website, sitchnews.com, and he writes, "Do not believe everything you hear, especially from TMZ. You can't believe everything you hear about the situation with the situation, especially when it comes to some of the ridiculous embellishments TMZ has been spreading." He goes on to kind of quote all of the different stories that everyone's been writing about throughout the week, and then he writes, "All these websites are doing is spreading gossip and hearsay, and unless you hear it from us, you can't believe everything you read."
Well, you heard it from us.
Right, and he's loving it, and he's loving the attention, and he's loving refuting it. So,
Well, then,
and by the way, it is pill. You said pills. We said rolling on the beans.
they
For the
used
kids.
downers. They said it's downers.
Yeah.
But to make things even worse, the situation's estranged dad, Frank Sorrentino, who has in true Jersey Shore fashion nicknamed himself the Confrontation, starts doing interviews
Awesome.
revealing that this is not the situation's first stint in rehab. According to the Confrontation, Mike was also in a rehab facility when he was 27 before he shot to fame at the Shore. In a new interview with Medicafe, Frank speaks about the trouble the family went through to get his son into treatment. He says, quote, "When Mikey was in rehab, we found the facility for him in Florida and we brought him down here and did a 7-day dry out period, then went to another facility for 30 days. Apparently, the first time he was in rehab, his financial situation was so dire that his older brother, Mark, paid for him to get treatment." Frank goes on to say that Mike's addiction became so bad that they were desperate for help. In hindsight, Frank says he doesn't believe Mike was ready to leave rehab and he regrets letting him go to Jersey Shore. He says, quote, "I gotta say, I'm not a psychologist or a drug addiction counselor, but I didn't recognize the symptoms that he wasn't well yet."
Frank is his oldest brother, I thought.
I think that's a Frank Jr.
Oh.
because I think they
Yeah.
call him Frankie or something. So finally, after all of this is coming out, the situation finally admits to at least a smidgen of truth to this story. He writes on his Facebook, quote, I want to set the record straight. I have voluntarily taken steps to get control of a prescription medication problem I had due to exhaustion. I have spent the past several weeks getting treatment for this problem and recuperating from my work and appearance schedule. I appreciate my fan support and love you guys.
Translation, so I will still be able to go and drink at the shore or at any nightclub that hires me for my $30,000 appearance fee.
Just gearing up for summer 2012 when we
Yeah.
start filming again.
You got to get the stamina up.
Which
you don't want to.
I just don't even know what to say about that. It's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
You deny it the same way Snooki denies she's pregnant, and then you have to come out and admit the truth.
Well, day 4, the final day today, Angelina is coming out of the woodworks, and now she's doing interviews, and she's revealing that Mike's problem was evident even in the early days of Jersey Shore. She tells the New York Post that Mike was caught by MTV producers when he was using pills while filming at a club in Miami. He was forced to give the pills up, and she says Mike was, and I quote, Popeye on crack.
Thank you, Angeline. And how about her? Like, now trying to make a comeback with is Couples Therapy? Is her new show? Ronnie, Couples Therapy?
I don't even know about that.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a VH1 show. It's DMX and it's just a bunch of different celebrity couples, and she's on there.
I remember when DMX was making movies.
Who is she dating?
My God.
She's like engaged.
To another.
Remember she got, that was in the press that she got engaged to
Yeah.
somebody.
What hasn't been in the press that she's
It was
in?
like a year ago, I feel like, or like right after.
Well, you know what? I mean, I guess she's
That's
gonna.
fine.
I don't think the show is gonna be successful, but it's her trying to keep it going.
Trying to keep herself out.
I thought we vowed, for the love of God, to never talk about
But
her
Angela,
again.
you're right, she never
Thank
existed.
you for breaking that
Sorry.
promise.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Well, that was a crucial part of the story.
All
So
right.
only
You're
in
gonna
dire
Anything else?
situations. Well, that's it about the situation.
What
I
else
just think
do
it's
we need?
interesting how each day, like this started on Monday, and today's Thursday, and something has come out every single day. And he went through so many different phases, from completely denying it to kind of,
Admitting it's a problem because of exhaustion.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, maybe he went in and because he needed to, and who knows if even producers said if there's a season 6 you need to go. Like they
Yeah.
may have told him. And so then as this evolved, he was like trying to figure things out along the way of like how to keep it
damage
going.
control
Anyway,
all week.
let's go to predictions for next season. And we'll talk about Paulie D project.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Spooky.
Very spooky. All these a year later, still hearing this drop, and I'm spooked. Anyway, okay, so next season, Snooki's gonna visit a couple times. God,
Which, by the way, that is news because they are having a season 6, which we didn't know last week.
no,
now we do.
We know it, which is great. We're excited, cautiously, and I can't see Snooki being there all summer because of the baby. I'm hoping they bring in, God, please bring in some new blood. Please, let's mix it up. Let's make trouble.
I don't even know what to say, what I'm looking for, because I think this show is falling down so fast that they don't even know what's going to save them right
They
now.
can't even handle it.
Yeah.
I'm interested. It's interesting to hear that they're emphasizing that all of the castmates are coming back, because I think they know that everyone's kind of been questioning the future of the show.
I
with
think
all this
but also
news.
I think everyone knows, like 2 or 3 seasons ago, they all thought they were on top of the world. As I said, other than Ronnie and Snooki, other than Paulie and Snooki, really? Who else should not be on TV in front of 6 million people? I mean, I know people on reality shows that are getting 1 million, 1.5 million who are very successful. Those are huge numbers. They're not getting that anywhere else.
And you know what I think is interesting, and I guess I understand it because they want to focus on the show, but tonight they didn't mention anything about the spin-offs that are coming up.
Well, who knows how long
When
ago
did
this
they
was
film
shot?
this?
They
Yeah.
didn't have the deals done for.
But we've heard about those being in the works since before the season even started.
Well, it's probably good that they didn't, because the Snooki JWoww show may not even
Who
happen.
knows? Yeah.
And with Paulie, I don't know. They promoted the hell out of it. At least,
How many viewers is Paulie going to get?
I know that's a great question. Is it going to be a drop in numbers?
I think it'll be good because he has so
Will
many
it be a
other.
drop? Will it be a drop in numbers?
Well, Jersey Shore's already dropped, so I don't think so. I think everyone's curious
You
to
think
see.
the first episode? Yes.
Yeah.
I think usually there's always a drop. There has to be. I mean, this was a phenomenon on this show.
Think about it just mathematically. You have all those cast members, and so everyone kind of has their favorite. I mean, as crazy as it may sound, someone's favorite is Ronnie or Sammi. I don't know who, but they're out there, and so to take one person out of that, you're diminishing the odds.
But I do think it's going to be a great show because
I agree.
I think it looks good.
Because they're breaking down the fourth wall.
Yeah,
we're seeing Britney Spears. We're seeing a 50
Cent.
Cent. Like it's like. We're owning up to what he is.
Like it actually has star power.
Thank you. It is fitty. And and when that's what I'm saying. When you see him with all the bling and I saw Paulie I haven't seen before.
But he's always worn bling. Remember when the girls told
I'm
him?
just saying
like
the aura was much more.
I'm like looking at them with puppy eyes. Like, please don't leave. Oh my gosh.
No, he's gone.
Don't let us down, Paulie.
But he is. And I'm always saying this to Phil about life. Be gracious in victory. He is gracious in victory. You see a different aura, but you don't see a guy who's like, get away from me, don't talk to me. Still very chill. And again, this is why he'll keep going.
Which I feel like that's what we saw with Snooki.
That's his charm. What's that?
I feel like that's what we saw with Snooki.
Exactly. Why am I the only one talking on my mic? Girls, come on. See,
I lean forward. I talk.
No, you're not. You're like
back.
Hello.
Shh. Okay,
Yeah, buddy.
Right over here.
I am talking into my mic.
There you go. Now I'm going to keep my hand there to keep it. Phil, keep Roxy where she needs to be.
So none of you guys, it's the unpopular opinion, but none of you guys want to see Angelina come back into that house that next season.
No, we need new people.
You know what, Ronnie?
No, I do want new people, guaranteed. I want to shake up new people. I want a chance for Sammi to kind of shine. I know you guys don't like her either. It's so funny. I like Sammi.
I like Sammi.
You don't like Sammi.
Did you not? I love how were you Facebooking during our show?
No.
I talked about how much I like Sammi.
We said we like Sammi.
Okay.
We said she's the straight. We need a straight character against the comedians.
I loved Sammi.
She just needs to bring her personality
But
up.
I wouldn't mind to see Angelina come back. I know she has a lot to prove, and if she
I wouldn't mind one episode, not a full season, because at the end of the day, she had nothing to offer. Remember, she was so empty.
And she had the comeback. If you want to talk about a comeback, she got her chance, and then
it was very. And granted, they didn't let her have. They never gave her any slack. But she's very one-dimensional.
I get it. Here's my thing. That was her. We talk about a comeback. That wasn't really a comeback. That was the next season. That was mere months later. She has dropped off. What Keven always talks about. You have that limelight, then you have to go back to your
maybe
regular
she's hungry
world.
now?
And now she's got this reality show that's not going to do good on VH1. You guys trust me. She's going to go in that house and she's going to get
passionate.
But no, Ronnie, and I'd say you're
Is
right.
she your best friend or something? Why are we PRing?
No, I just for good television. This is what I'm talking about.
Ronnie, I think I would say you're right, except the fact that she's doing couples therapy, and knowing how like crazy and delusional she was in the earlier seasons, I could see her thinking that she's got her own show now, and that she's a big star of her own show, and she could be back to the same arrogant girl who wouldn't press a T-shirt because I don't do this in bartending. Remember?
she does great things. She's a bartender.
That first
right.
season, like, I'm a bartender. I don't take this from people, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, as I cringed, because I've had so many people that I've dealt with, even at AfterBuzz, who are like, no, I don't do that. Okay, good. Go and bartend.
I would love to see the unit come on the show and stay on the show.
Would love to see the unit.
Well, then, I mean, that might bring out the situation's sexuality.
We were saying we wanted more of the unit this year, and then I forget, was it you, Jess, or you, Roxy, who said we probably didn't see him because
he wants more money.
Is maybe more money per show, which is stupid on his part. Just get your ass on TV.
And because he also was on
But
drugs.
it was refresh.
That's true.
Probably on drugs.
Probably in jail.
No,
a little bit.
he also came out and
busted
said
for it.
He was on drugs and he was like,
he got busted at the shore for it.
See, Phil, how close Jessica is to the mic. That's what you got to do with Roxy.
Well, thanks to Keven, who's pushing my back forward.
Yep. That's it.
What's up, gangsters?
That's it. What's up, baby?
I'll stay right here.
Well, we're all tuning. First of all, we're not going anywhere. We'll be back next week for Paulie. So hopefully, you guys will roll over with us, and then that will take us into, I guess,
season 6.
Season 6 will probably be in. They usually churn them out pretty quick. September.
No. Oh
no, summer. They said summer.
No, that's when they're
taping. They're taping in the summer.
I would say October.
Anyway,
it's September 6th, I'm guessing.
We will be back next week.
So
is that even a Thursday?
Now listen.
I'm looking at my calendar.
We have for Paulie D. We're going to be back, and one of the producers of the Paulie D show, who also produces Jersey Shore, is trying to get permission from MTV to be a guest on our show.
I think this week we should all perfect our yeah buddy for next week.
Yeah,
September
buddy.
6th?
And by the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah, that's a
let me know,
Thursday?
but let me say
Damn
this.
right.
Is that your birthday or something?
No, but I guessed it. September 6th. I'm predicting this right now. Ronnie, mark the calendar. Mark the calendar of today that I guessed this. September 6th, Jersey Shore comes back on.
I'm not drinking that much throughout the year anymore, but September 6th I'll be drinking
Throughout
because
the year?
it's a day after my birthday, so
that
I
like
will be
Labor Day
ready for that.
weekend
Yeah,
or
it's Labor Day
something?
weekend.
I don't know
will
what
be
the
ready.
hell it is, but it's Jersey Shore premiere season 6.
But great prediction. Let's back up for 1 second, just one last second. With the Paulie D show, this producer's calling in. The bomb I wanted to drop on all you guys. You know what his claim is? Everything we see is
Fake.
it's
No, the opposite.
He is saying, and we were out. Roxy and Gabby and I went to drinks with this guy. He spilled over some sake, and he said, "Listen, that's the one show that is the most real. Everything goes. What you see is what you get." And I said, "We've got to get this guy and interview him." But that's the claim.
Wait, where was I? Why
that's a
wasn't
claim.
I over drinks?
I don't know.
You were
You
being
were gone
nerdy.
already. Yeah, you were being
Well,
nerdy.
here's what we have permission to
wasn't
basically
invited.
like make our huge counterpoints, right? And basically go at him so we get to the middle ground
I
of the
almost
truth.
went at him. You would hold me back. You were like, hold it back,
Yeah, I
hold it
said,
back. I was like,
yeah.
right.
I was like, wait, no. Well, let's say. Well, we always say, save it for the show. Save it for the show. Anyway, everyone, we'll see you next week, right?
For Paulie D's
Paulie
project.
Paulie D's
So
project.
tune in to Paulie D and rate and comment that when we start it.
All right, great show. Bye.
You can play the music
From
again, Ronnie.
Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Here we go.
I did.
Buzz
you later, bitches!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.